My brothers and sisters, you are now watching the Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need! And I hope you enjoy the video.
I don't want to fight anyone. I just want answers.
And if those answers lead to war with Asgard?
Maybe that's what Mother wanted.
We do not know what Mother wanted. Let it serve you.
Here!
Are you coming with us?
You'll get your answers soon enough.
So as we all await the release of God of War Ragnarok, I actually planned on playing through the games again leading up into this game's release. I wanted to do a God of War Ragnarok wish list. Just things that I'm personally hoping for to see in this game, or things that I felt like could have been improved on going, you know, from God of War 2018 into this one. Even though God of War 2018 was amazing, I mean, it won Game of the Year, it could still be improved on, you know. And if this is the last, I'm not saying this will be the last God of War game we get, but if this is, you know, potentially the last one we see for a while at least, why not go out swinging? So this will be a brother's personal wish list that I have for God of War Ragnarok. If you have a wish list of your own, well, that's what the comment section is for, sucker. Number one, more enemy variety. This was a thing that I felt like a lot of people complained about in God of War 2018, as amazing as that game was. People always complaining about what? Oh my god, another troll fight. You know, which is gonna be like another separate one for me, but yes, God of War 2018, at times I felt like they were always throwing the same type of creature or enemy at you, and it did kind of get like, can we see something else now? So that is one thing that I feel like can be improved upon going into Ragnarok, just a more diverse enemy rotation, more variety when it comes to, you know, all the different type of beasts and creatures you fight in God of War. So yeah, for me, that's number one, more enemy variety. Number two, and this is kind of going back into the troll fights, but because in God of War 2018, the troll fights were kind of boss battles themselves, or mini boss fights, whatever you want to call them. I need the boss fights in God of War Ragnarok to be more epic than they were in 2018. I need the epicness of these boss fights to be on a higher scale, especially once you eventually do go against Thor and possibly Odin in this game. I need those fights to be absolutely biblical. I need those fights to be great. And even before you get to them fights, I felt like the main thing that God of War 2018 lacked, that God of War 3 did so well, was literally every boss fight that was in God of War 3 was amazing. Like, something amazing happened in that fight that made you remember every single boss battle in God of War 3. And I felt like in 2018, you know, the Baldur fights were great and stuff, the multiple times you went against him. The dragon fight was cool, even though I personally felt like that could have been way more epic than it was, but that was cool. You know, you insert the 8 different types of troll fights you want to get. Even though at times the boss fights, you know, kind of had something cool about it, it just wasn't as epic and as memorable, and just the scale of the fight, which is crazy because you have way more tech and things that these devs can do today. Again, going back to God of War 3, I just felt like at that time, that game came out in 2010, bro. 2010. And the stuff that you seen in them boss battles, bro, the moments that those fights had, if you was going against freaking Hercules and you was punching his face into the floor, when you snatched Hades' soul from his body and then freaking he used it against him. You was going against Zeus and punching his face until the screen turned red. When you was fighting what was that huge giant Kronos or whatever his name was, and you literally had to go inside of him and then freaking rip his freaking stomach out from inside and his intestines just fall out into his hands. Like, they didn't have moments like that in God of War 2018. We are on PlayStation 5 now. I know it's also going to be on going to be on PS4, but we on next gen now. I need, like, the same way they literally pushed the envelope with God of War 3 on PS3 in 2010. I need them pushing that same envelope on PS5 with God of War Ragnarok as far as just the epicness of these boss fights. That's another thing that I need in God of War Ragnarok. Number 3. At some point in time, it could be midway through the game, it could be towards the end of the game. I just know at some point in time, I will not be satisfied with this game unless at some point Kratos wields Thor's hammer and uses it again. I need that. I personally need that, okay? Listen, he needs to have that Captain America in-game moment to where this sucker, like, you see, like, the freaking hammer, like, in the air, and, like, you think it's going to Thor, but no, Kratos grabs the freaking hammer, and he can either use it against Thor, or he uses it against Odin. I don't know. I just know, how cool would that be? While this man Kratos has his freaking axe and the freaking blades of chaos and whatever, at some point in time, you're able to actually, and I'm not just talking about in the cutscene. No. I'm talking about you're actually able to play with Kratos and use Thor's hammer. I need that, bro. And like the whole thing with the Leviathan axe, like you already kind of have, like, you know, that kind of gameplay to where you could throw the axe and then call it back. Like, they wouldn't have to really do too much. Like, that's what Thor's hammer is all about. So yeah, for me, bro, I need that. I need to see Kratos wielding Thor's hammer and you're actually able to play with it. How cool and epic would that be? I need that. Number 4. I need this game to at least be, because I think God of War 2018 was what, like 25 to maybe like 30 hours worth of content in the game. I'm hoping for Ragnarok to be at least like, yeah, 30 to 35, maybe 40 hours max. You know, but that's 40 being max. But I need this game to at least be in like that 30 to 35 hours worth of content in this game. You know, in God of War 2018, once you did complete the game, really the main thing to do was, you know, just go around and fight the Valkyries in the game, which were incredibly hard. With God of War 2018, they did make it more open, and you know, you could explore more. I wouldn't say it's an open world game, but because they have made it more, you know, vast and more things to explore and do, I hope once you do complete the game, there is other stuff to do that's actually fulfilling and fun, not just what was that thing they had you do when, like, you had to find all of Odin's little green birds and stuff? Like, no, I don't need no stuff like I don't need no stuff like that. Actual, just, you know, good, you know, side missions to do that's actually fun and fulfilling in the game. No filler stuff, you know. Well, of course you're gonna have some filler, but I'm just hoping for, you know, you have the story, and then once you do complete the story, you have other stuff to do once the game is completed. 30 to 35 hours, 40 being max. And last but certainly not least, if this is potentially the last God of War game we get, or the last one we get for a while. You know, don't hear about God of War again for, you know, the next 5+ years. And once they're done with this, then Santa Monica Studios moves on to a new IP, whatever. If this is the last God of War game we get for a while, I want Kratos to go out like an absolute legend. The legend that he is. I want Kratos to go out balls to the freaking wall. I ain't saying you have to like make this man return back to savage Kratos, because he's not that guy no more. He's father Kratos. That toxic masculinity side of him is long gone. There's already been rumors of people saying like, yo, what if Kratos dies in this game and like Atreus picks up where he left off? Like, I've already heard this stuff. I don't know how the freak you're gonna kill Kratos, but let's just say, just for the sake of this video, that Kratos actually, you know, he either ends up dying or this is the last we see of him for a while. I want this man to be remembered. I want Kratos to be, I want him to have his moments, like towards like, yo, this guy went out on top and he is one of hands down the best PlayStation characters ever. I want him to have that moment. And I feel like not going not going to Last of Us 2, but I felt like that's why you had that outrage with Joel when he died in Last of Us 2. I don't feel like nobody would have had a problem with him dying. The fact of how he went out and how early he went out, I felt like is what angered people more so than him dying. Like, I don't care that Joel, Jesus, this is starting to get I just want Kratos to go out like a boss. I want this man to be respected as the great character that he was and is for PlayStation. If he does potentially die, or it's the last time we'll see him, I just want this to be a great send-off for Kratos, if that is the case. So yeah, that's really all I got. I mean, I don't know if that was a lot, but that's really, if they do those things, like, I don't see why not this game will end up snatching Game of the Year from Elden Ring. I really don't see why, because God of War 2018, that game was amazing in itself. I mean, it won Game of the Year the same year that Red Dead Redemption 2 came out and Spider-Man came out. So if they even improve on that game going into Ragnarok, like, bro, it's over for Elden Ring. it's literally over and done with. And if they could do those things that I just said, for me personally, there will be nothing else that I could have asked for if I receive all of this stuff. This could very well be the greatest God of War game yet, if they have all the stuff that I just if they do all the stuff that I just said, this junk, because I personally still give the slight edge, the ever so slight edge, to God of War 3 still being my best God of War game. And God of War 2018 is like right there, but I'll still give the edge to that. But if they do all of that and improve on God of War 2018 with all the stuff that I just said, yeah, this could very well be the best one yet. So yes, that is my wish list for God of War Ragnarok when this game does drop in November. What improvements would you guys like to see going from God of War 2018 to God of War Ragnarok? What is your wish list for this game? Leave it down in the comment section below. Do you feel like this game is going to be better than God of War 2018? Or do you feel like they might drop the ball? Leave it down in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until the next video, my brothers and sisters. Catch y'all boys in my next one, all right?